Hello, Oblivion newbies. I'm James, and this is my first little lesson in my series of tutorials for my sister who wanted to learn how to play this game. So when you start the game, I assume we're playing on a PC with a keyboard and mouse. You find yourself in this little cell, and that's a good place to learn how to do the basics, in particular how to walk. So walking uses the W, A, S, D keys. W is forward, A is back. No, W is forward, S is back, A is left, D is right. Pretty much the standard configuration. You move your body with those keys, and you move your head using the mouse. You look down and up using the mouse, left, right. Think of the mouse as your head, and the keys on the keyboard as your feet. And you can just walk sideways, shuffle, shuffle. Or you can go forward and turn your head, and that's usually a smoother way to travel. Make you seasick when you watch somebody else do it. Also, we're moving very, very slowly, and I don't like that. I find it frustrating. If you hold the shift key down, it actually accelerates you. So that's your run. As long as you're holding it, you're running. Personally, I don't ever want to walk slow, so what I do is I just hit my caps lock, and so now every time I move, I'm moving fast. And that's pretty much the first lesson on movement. There's not much more to know. So I think from there we'll go right into, let's look at a little bit more about our character. So if you hit tab, it brings up your menu area. In it, you've got a section down below, which you can click on, and that tells you about yourself. And I won't get into all the details of that, but this is basically telling you the base signs and statistics about yourself. This is all of your various scores that you have, and you'll see what all of these things mean. I can move my mouse up here, I can scroll the mouse wheel, sort of scroll through them all, or I can grab the little handle. If I wanted to see my inventory, that would be this button, and that shows me what I've got. So this is my armor, this is my weapons. I don't have any weapons. This is all total everything in my inventory without any categorization. This is my alchemy supplies and food, and then here's just miscellaneous junk. This is where you find all of your spells, and this is where you find the map. So the first thing we notice is we don't see much about our map. We haven't seen the world, so it's all just a big gray area of our personal map. If you look at the world map, it's like an atlas, so that never changes. You can drag it around with your mouse, but again, because we've never been anywhere, it's just really an empty map with a couple of things on it. The more you explore, the more you're going to find. What we can guess is that we are approximately here in the Imperial Prison sewer system. It's a cave system, or a dungeon, so we can't see on the outside. All we know is from the outdoors, we're at this entrance. Inside a dungeon, using your personal map makes a lot more sense. But until I go down this little tunnel, I won't know what's in it. Once I walk down here, it'll show up on my map. Let me show you a little bit of that. We'll walk down this tunnel a little bit. And let's have a look at our map again. So now we can see all of this area, because we've sort of, once you've seen it with your eyes, it'll show up in your map. That's your personal map. The outside map remains exactly the same. I think to keep this first tutorial short, I'm going to almost leave it there, but I'll just take a look at one more thing that's worth knowing. So spells, for instance, and you can do this with weapons or anything. If I wanted to use my flare, I would click on it, and I can tab out, and then C is how you cast a spell. Just aim where I want to shoot that fireball, and it happens. You see me moving. I'm using a combination of the keyboard and my mouse as I move, so I can't get up there because there's a step. Good time to learn that E is jump. So I come to the step and I can just jump over. So using the keyboard and the mouse at the same time, you end up with a more fluid movement. But at first, don't worry about it if you can't do that. At first, you're going to maybe look a little bit like this. And that's fine. So if I wanted to shoot at my doorway, who knows if I can maybe open that? I line up the little crosshair and I hit C. Of course, it has no effect. There's another kind of weapon besides magic, and that's the weapon that you're carrying. And right now, it happens to be fists. So if I click my mouse button, then much the same as the fireball, I'm going to punch wherever I'm aiming. If I use my right mouse button, I'm blocking. So that'll offer a little bit of defense. So again, tab brings up your menu. Let's say I wanted to heal some wounds. I can select that. And I press C. And I've just healed whatever damage I might have had. I didn't have any damage, so that's not a big deal. So I think that's a lot to think about. So think about that, play around in this little area, and when you're ready to move on, then we'll head down and we'll start following the king out through the dungeon. And that's the end of the first lesson. I'll see you in a second.